Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are going to be watching this video from. This is your friend Okoyemi Steven in the School of Learning and Development. So today we are going to be talking about how to configure your company branding in Microsoft Entra ID. How to configure the company branding in Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, so now what is this Microsoft Entra company branding? Is that it's allow organization to customize the sign-in experience for users, ensuring a consistent and recognizable look across their application and services. So, which means that is a way in which company customize their login page for their users. So, when their users want to log into their Microsoft Office environment or any environment within the tenant, so what they will see, they'll be seeing the customized design, okay, which is the look of the company, maybe like the building. So it depends, okay. So now let me just show you an image. Now, so this is something like this. This is what we are going to be having at the end of the day. This is going to be the outcome of the lab at the end of the day. So you can see here you have your you can see here your you have the first one, which is have you have the favicon. So this favicon is known as a small icon associated with a website. Okay, so can you see it now? So this is it. So this is your company logo that you can put there. Okay, so whenever you just try to sign in on the tab, so they will see the company logo, and with that it gives them that assurance that okay, they are trying to log into the right tenant. Okay, so that is the favicon icon, and you have the header. So you can see now the header here is this one. You can see with this orange line. Okay, so that is the header. You can decide to choose the header color, and then you have the logo of the company. Okay, so where you put your logo, so this is what the users will be seeing when they're trying to log in, and you have the background image, and you have the background color. So this background image, at times some company use the building, they use the building already, they've gotten a picture of the building, and then they give the graphics guy to just create it like a simple design, or just do some little bit touches to that particular image. Okay, all you just need to do is for you to give them the required size, the dimension, and everything you need, and then they hand it over to you, and then you will definitely configure it for your company. Okay, and then you have the banner logo. Okay, this is the banner logo here, and you have the sign in, which is the sign in page title, and you have the sign in page description, which is this one. Okay, and you have the username hint text, so you can do that if you want to, and you have the self-service password reset. Okay, in the case where a user cannot log into their payment, they will need to reset their password. So if they click on this, cannot cannot access your account, click on that, and I take them to the service reset password page. Okay, so that is another one which has to be configured separately. Okay, so then you have the footer link and so on. So you can see that. So now I'm going to show you how we can achieve something like this. So now we'll go to our portal. Okay, so I've opened my browser, and here you can now come up here and log into your admin. Okay, so you can the new URL for the login to the admin portal is the admin dot cloud dot microsoft dot com. So that's it. So you press enter. Okay, or you can also use admin dot put your admin dot microsoft com. Okay, so any of those ones can be used. Okay, so those are the two URLs. So I think this is the new one that Microsoft, I think they've started rolling it out. That's when you log in to redirect you to the admin.cloud.microsoft. Okay, so when you now log into your admin page here, you come down here and then click on your identity, which is your Microsoft Entra ID. So click on the identity. So when you click on your identity, now this will now take you, open another tab, take you to the admin portal of that Microsoft Entra ID, where you need to now configure the company branding. Okay, now when you come to this place here you now come up here, click on show more, click on that. When you click on show more, you now come to user experience. and then you click on company branding. So click on that company branding. Or better still, you can come up here under where you have your search resources and just type whatsoever you are looking for. Okay, so you can type whatever you are looking for, and you will see it. You click on it. So whichever way whichever way is suits you, so you can actually do that. So when you now click on that here, it will now bring you to this page. You can see you have get started. Okay, you have get started, and you have sign in, and you have browser language customization. So we are going to be diving with this on sign in, default signing. So if you are just doing it for the first time, because I've configured it before, I had to revert it back. So when you are doing the first time, click on this sign in, default signing. So what you are going to be seeing, you are going to see um, something like this. I think you're going to be seeing something like this, default sign in experience. Here you have default sign in experience. So here you're going to see default sign in. So here not default customization. So you now click on that so to customize, to start your customization. But because I've done it before, so all I just need to do is to click on this edit here. Okay, like I said, I've reverted it back, and I'll click on my edit. Then here you now have the five icon. So you have to note that these sizes you have here, the dimension, the image size, the file size, you have to make sure you make use of it so that it can work perfectly for you, or else it might be giving you issue and it's not going to work. Okay, so here I have my images. I've done the dimension. So you can use paint if you want to do it yourself, or you give it to your graphic designer guys. Just give them the dimension of what you need, the size and the file type, so they will do it and then give it to you, and then you make use of it. Okay, or you can use paint, Microsoft you can use paint to just do that. Okay, to do the dimension and all those things. So here I have the favicon here. Click on it. You can see the dimension size is 32 by 32 pixel. I'll click on that. So I've customized the logo. I think this should be this. So click on that. I'll click on that. Then the logo will be there. So you can see that if it's not accepting it, it's going to let you know there. Okay, so this is the logo. It looked blurry, so don't worry about that. So that's how it's going to be. So now the next one, you now come to your background image. Come up here on your background image. Here, I already have a background image I want to use, which I've created the design. Click on that. So when I click on your background image, you can see the dimension is there, and you can see the file size, which is the maximum. It should be what, 300 KB or less. Okay. So when you do that, here you now have the background color. So if you want to use the background color here, you can come up here and now specify based on the color of your organization. Okay, so because this is, we are trying to do what, branding. Okay, so you can do that based on the color of your organization. So I'm going to choose based on the color of my. So okay, I think I'll be good with that. So when you do that, the next you now click on next. So this next will now take you to the layout where you have the template. So you have full screen and you have partial screen background. So I will be using this partial screen background so that I can see my full image at one side. Okay, so if I have my logo and everything, I can see my full image at one side. Okay, so you can use this if you want to. So it depends on you. So but I want to make use of this. Now click on that, and then you now come up here. You have the custom CSS, which is cascading style sheet. If you're a web designer guy, you understand what the cascading style sheet does. So that one is a separate thing where you can design that. You can actually do that and then save the file and then come up here and then make use of it. But I don't have that for now, just for this the purpose of this training. So if you want to do that, so you can look up on it and also apply that for your own. Then click on the next, which will take you to the header. Now under this header, I have the header logo. Okay, this one, the header logo. Now the reason why this one is blank, because if I go back to previous now, because I've actually choose this one. Okay, so I don't want my header. Okay, so I'll click on next. So that one ignore. So click on next. Then here you have your privacy and cookies. So if you wanted to show your privacy, which is from this image I used the other time. You can see here you have uh, terms of use, you have privacy and cookies. Okay, so if you want to do that, so here you come up here, you select that, you make sure you tick that, and then you can put your display text if you want to. So you can put your display text if you want to. Then you have show terms of use. Okay, so you can do that, display the text, and you have the URL for that. So you can also put that there. So then click on next. Now when you click on next, now you have the banner logo. So the banner logo is what is going to show here. You can see where you have the groomed here. Okay, where you have this logo here. So I can decide to choose if I want to, but this is the dimension. So if I go back, I think I should have one I've used. Hopefully okay, so let me use this as my. Okay, so I've used that as my. Okay, so I'm just going to use that for that purpose. Now, so do that, and then the next you have the square. You have the square logo light theme if you want to make use of that. But for the purpose of this training, I'm just going to ignore all this one. Then here you now have the username hint text. Username hint text, which is what you have here. You can see you have the username hint text. Okay, so you can decide to do that. If you can see here, you have email address. Okay, they put email address, so you can decide to put whatever hint you want to put in there. Okay, so I can say you. So I can put that, and then you can now put your sign in page text. You can see that this is the sign in page text. Okay, so this is the sign in page text. So you can see here where they have this one here. So you can actually do that. So if you have your sign in, so like I said, this has to be done based on your company policy. Okay, so your company should give you all the information you need to make use of there. So I'm just going to put that particular one. So I will use let me just replace this one with this. Okay, so now, so I'm good with that. And then this one you have show self-service password reset. Okay, so if you want it to show just like I showed you in that image, you can see here cannot sign, cannot access your account. So you can decide to do that. So this is what's called company branding. So you have to design it the way you want it, the way you want it. Okay, so you can design it. You can design it to your taste. So here I'm going to click on next. Now, once I click on next here, you can see everything is good, everything is fine, and then I can now click on my save. Now I'll click on that save. So you can see it's done successfully. At times, this actually takes 24 hours to propagate, okay? But it depends. So it might be faster, it might be up to 24 hours. So it depends on you. So in case if you are trying to test it and it's not working, don't get confused, don't get worried. Okay, just give it some time. It might actually take 24 hours at time to get into effect. So before that, there's something called the theme. I want to change the theme of my company. Okay, I want to configure the theme of my company. So that one, I'll go back to my admin. I'll go back to my admin page. Under my admin page, I'll come up here under settings. I'll click on settings. Under my settings, I'll click on my org settings. Under org setting, you now go to organization profile, and then I'll click on custom theme. Okay, so this theme now I want to configure the theme of my organization. Okay, like the colors and all those things like that. So I'll come up and I'll say default theme here. I'll now click on this. I'll say prevent users from overriding their themes. Okay, so you can also do that so that you can avoid users from can stop user from overriding the themes that have been set there by the organization. So here you can say show the user display name, which is at the top. You can see here, like here now, you can see here, it's showing just my initial O. And so here I can say, okay, display the user name if I want to. So I can do that. Then click on my, then before that, I can do that. Then go to logos. Now under this logo, I want to also put a logo there. I'll come up here. I'll now click on upload logo. Or if you have a URL of where your logo is, you can just come up here, paste the URL. But I want to upload a logo. I want to upload an image. So I'll do that. I'll now go and click on browse. So now click on go browse. I'll now come up here and look for the logo I want to use. So any logo you want to use, make sure it's a transparency logo that does not have a white background. Okay, so make sure your logo is being saved in the PNG format to get that. So I'm going to use this one. Yeah, this should be fine for me. So you can see now there's no background, there's no white background there. Okay, so if you're using a JPEG, you have to convert that logo to PNG so that it will not have a white background on it. Okay, so once I do that here, I'll come up here. If I want to here, you can see here you have on click, which means that when the user come up here, maybe click on the logo or click on anything, where do I want it to redirect them to? You can put your company website if you want to, or you just put the same page of the Microsoft Office .com there, or whatever you want to make use of. Okay, so here I'll now go to colors here. Under my colors here, I'll now come up here and now set it to my company color. Okay, so I'm just going to look for, yeah, here I'm going to choose that. So if you are setting your color, you have to make sure, if you see this question mark, it means that it does not meet minimum color construct. Okay, so you have to make sure you are at the level. Okay, so here, yeah, I think mine should be fine like this. Yeah, no, but okay, so can you see that now? So that it's fine. Go back here. Now, once you do that, I'll now click on save. I'll now save that. So once I save that, if you still want to adjust one or two things again, you can go back to this same color and then make your adjustment. Okay, make your adjustment. So here I've saved that. Now, once I'm done with that, so I will close that. I've configured that one, what I need to do. Now, once you are done with that, so let's now see how this thing is going to work now. So I'll click on my tab. Let me come up here and go to my incognito mode. So if your user come here and they try to sign in, let's say I go to office.com, okay, enter. So when I click on office.com, enter, so I'll now come up here, I'll pick a particular user in my organization I want to use to sign in, okay? Let me pick user, okay? So here I'll now click on my sign in, come up here, put the name, so I'll get a user, sorry, let me get a particular user I want to use, okay? I'll come up here, paste. Now, once you do that, click on your next. So by the time you click on your next, so you click on next. So by the time you click on your next, you do that. So you can see now. So like I said earlier, if it does not come, just give it some time or just refresh your page. Then that's going to happen. So you can see what I actually have now. Okay. So can you see my image I actually made use of? You can see. Then can you see this one here? This is the favicon icon I use where you have the sign. You can see on that tab. Okay, that is the company logo you are seeing there, and this is the one the banner actually make use of. Okay, so can you see that now? So this is the image you are going to see from what you have actually uh configured. So you can see, let me go back to from what you actually configured from here, so you can see everything we have. You can you see that now? So can you see it now actually working? Okay, so you can actually come back here and make any other addition adjustment you want to do. So can you see that? Then I'll now click on my, sorry, put my password and then click on my sign in. Let me get that particular password. Give me a second. So now I'm going to put my password and I'll click on sign in, and then here it's going to ask me for my authentication. Okay, so I will now authenticate from my phone by putting that matching number here. So put it, and then that should actually sign me in. Okay, so you can see this will sign you in. So now I've been signed to my office65.com. Okay, now if I come back, if I click on here and now click on, let's say I click on my OneDrive. Okay, now you will see that company browser. So can you see that now? Can you see my look? Can you see the color actually mixed on that my team? Can you see where you have the name of that user displaying here? So can you see the company? So can you see that now? So this will give your user some assurance when they are trying to log into anything. So you can see if I go back there, if I click on SharePoint, you should definitely have all those things. So you can see you can adjust the color if the color is conflicting with the logo of your company. So you can actually adjust it and adjust to your taste. Okay, so can you see that? So this is what we call what company what branding. How to do company branding in your Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, I hope you have actually enjoyed this short demonstration on how to configure your company brand. Okay, if you are just if you just actually passing by and you come across this video, I want you to also be part of my followers. Please kindly click on that subscription link, subscribe, like, follow, and turn off your notification button. And if you are our upcoming subscriber, thank you very much. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for coming back to watch my video. And I remain your friend Okoyemi Stephen in the School of Learning and Development. Okay, so we see some other time. Thank you and bye bye for now.